Assalamu alaikum students, this is Shagufta Saleem Shaikh, Business Faculty, University Campus, Larkana.
Welcome to the lecture number 1.
Today we are going to discuss special contract. There are so many contracts which are special in nature. We discuss in law of contract first, which is talking about what is contract. In case of contract, there are always two parties. Parties must be competent. There must be free consent. There must be consideration. Yeah, there are certain exceptions to each and every point. But remember, when we talk about a special contract, these are special kind of contracts. In this lecture, you will be able to learn the following objectives. Indemnity contract, guarantee contract, indemnity versus guarantee. So the first special contract is indemnity contract. Don't be confused with the word indemnity. The word indemnity means to make the loss, or you can say to compensation, to compensate for the loss. Indemnity contract is a contract whereby one party promises to save the other from loss caused to him by the conduct of promisor himself or by the conduct of any other person. Indemnity is a part of the general class of contingent contracts because indemnity depends upon the happening of an anticipated losses. So thus, in simply word, indemnity contract is considered to be a contractual agreement between two parties whereby one party agrees to pay for potential losses or damages caused by another party. Now let's take an example. A person has a contract of fire insurance with insurance company and subsequently he suffered losses due to fire. In this case, he need not worry because insurance company will compensate for the losses as it was a contract of indemnity. Now person who is saved from the loss is known as indemnified or indemnity holder. And in this example here, insurance company will be known as indemnifier. Now we know that there are two parties in a contract of indemnity. The first party is indemnifier. This is the person who promises to save from the loss. And second party is indemnity holder. Indemnity holder is also known as indemnified. This is the person whose loss is to be made good. Let's take another example. Mr. Ali, who is shareholder in a company, one day he goes to company and says, I lost my share certificate, so please issue me a duplicate certificate. On this, company says, we will give you a duplicate certificate, but if anyone else brings original certificate and we suffered loss, you will have to compensate against the loss. So this is the contract of indemnity. The second special contract is a guarantee contract. A contract of guarantee is a contract to perform the promise, discharge the liabilities of a third person in case of his default. In simple, the word guarantee means assurance. A contract of guarantee is a promise to be responsible for something to perform the promise. Or in simply, you can say that guarantee contract means fulfillment of obligation accepted by him. It will be repaid or fulfilled by a third person. For example, you can say that there are three people, A, B and C. A goes to B and says, I want to borrow 1 lakh rupees. B says, I don't trust you, so I will not give you the money. Now, here C is a reputed businessman, says that I will pay if A does not pay, and B lends money to A on C's assurance. So this is called as a contract of guarantee. Now in this contract, A will be considered as principal debtor, B will be the creditor, and C is a surety. Let's take one more example. A and B are two friends. Both of them go to a car showroom. B tells the dealer that give a car to my friend A, and if A does not pay, I will pay. This is a contract of a guarantee because in this contract B promises to discharge A's liability in case of his default. Here A is a principal debtor, B is the surety, and dealer is the creditor. From the previous example, one thing is clear that there are three contracts in a contract of guarantee. First contract is between principal debtor and the dealer. This contract is a principal contract. Second contract is between surety and creditor. This is a secondary contract. And the third contract is between principal debtor and the surety. This is an implied contract. Let's see these three contracts one by one. Number one, principal contract. This is a principal contract between A, who is a principal debtor, and the dealer, who is the creditor. This contract is a principal contract because A has a primary liability to pay the money for car towards the dealer. Now let's see secondary contract. This is a contract between B, who is the surety, and dealer, who is the creditor. This contract is the secondary contract because surety's liability is secondary. Surety has to pay in case the principal debtor does not pay. Third contract is an implied contract. This contract is between A, who is principal debtor, and B, who is the surety. This contract is an implied contract because if surety pays the money to the creditor on behalf of the principal debtor, principal debtor has to return the money. Now we will see the difference between contract of indemnity and contract of guarantee. Indemnity and guarantee both are different things. Indemnity is a contract where one party promises to compensate another party for the losses. Whereas guarantee is a contract in which one party promises to discharge the liability of a third person in case of his default. Number of parties is also different in both the contracts. There are two parties in contract of indemnity. First party is indemnifier and the second party is indemnified. Indemnifier is the person who promises to save another party, and indemnified is the person who is saved from the losses. And in a contract of guarantee, there are three parties, that is creditor, principal debtor, and the surety. Now let's see the difference on the basis of nature of liability. The liability of indemnifier is primary, but the liability of surety is secondary because principal debtor is primary liable. Purpose of both the contracts are also different. Purpose of indemnity is reimbursement of losses, but the contract of guarantee is for the security of the creditor. In a contract of indemnity, there is only one contract which is between indemnifier and indemnified. But on the other hand, there are three contracts in a contract of guarantee, that is between creditor and principal debtor, between creditor and surety, and between surety and principal debtor.